Paulo Avelino finally admits his feelings for Chiu. Hi there, welcome to Celeb Buzz, the hotspot for everything celebrity. From red carpet reveals to behind-the-scenes drama, we've got the buzz you crave. If you love staying in the loop, hit subscribe, tap that bell, and share the love with your friends. Let's dive into today's celeb scoop. The enduring intrigue surrounding Paulo Avelino and Chiu has reached a new level of intensity following recent remarks that many interpret as a long-awaited emotional admission. For years, audiences have closely followed their interactions, both on-screen and off, searching for subtle cues that might reveal something deeper than professional collaboration. This time, however, the conversation has shifted from speculation to interpretation of what appears to be a more direct expression. During a recent interview, Paulo Avelino displayed a level of openness that stood in contrast to his typically reserved public persona. Known for maintaining a degree of privacy, he has historically chosen his words carefully, often deflecting personal questions with humor or ambiguity. Yet in this instance, his tone suggested something more deliberate. While he did not offer an explicit declaration framed in conventional terms, the emotional undertones of his statements were difficult to overlook. He spoke about connection, timing, and the complexity of relationships in a way that many fans quickly associated with Chiu. What made the moment particularly compelling was the subtlety of the language used. Rather than making a definitive claim, Paulo framed his thoughts in reflective terms, discussing how certain people can occupy a unique space in one's life. This approach allowed for multiple interpretations, but it also conveyed a sense of sincerity that resonated with listeners. For observers who had followed the evolution of their dynamic, it felt less like a sudden revelation and more like the culmination of a narrative that had been unfolding gradually. The public reaction was swift and multifaceted. A significant portion of their audience viewed his remarks as confirmation of what they had long suspected, that there was an emotional depth between the two that extended beyond professional boundaries. Social media platforms quickly filled with analyses, with fans revisiting past interviews, shared projects, and public appearances to piece together a coherent timeline of their relationship. Each detail, no matter how minor, was re-examined in light of this perceived admission. At the same time, there were voices urging caution against overinterpretation. They pointed out that public figures often speak in generalized terms that can easily be personalized by audiences eager for narrative closure. From this perspective, Paulo's comments could be seen as an expression of philosophical insight rather than a direct confession. This tension between interpretation and restraint became a defining feature of the discourse, highlighting the complex relationship between celebrity communication and audience expectation. Chiu's role in this unfolding story remains equally significant. Although she has not issued a direct response to Paulo's latest remarks, her previous statements about valuing meaningful connections and maintaining emotional clarity have taken on renewed relevance. Observers have noted that her approach to discussing personal matters tends to emphasize balance and intentionality, suggesting that any response she chooses to make will likely align with those principles. The professional collaboration between the two continues to serve as a central point of reference. Their on-screen chemistry has consistently been described as compelling, characterized by a natural ease and emotional authenticity that enhances their performances. This has inevitably blurred the line between fiction and reality for many viewers, making it difficult to separate the characters they portray from the individuals themselves. Paulo's recent comments, whether interpreted as a confession or not, have intensified this ambiguity. Beyond the immediate narrative, this development reflects a broader phenomenon within contemporary entertainment culture. Audiences today are deeply invested in the personal lives of public figures, often seeking coherence between what is presented on-screen and what exists off-screen. This creates an environment in which even nuanced or abstract statements can take on heightened significance, becoming focal points for collective interpretation. In this context, Paulo Avelino's words carry weight not only because of what they might reveal, but because of how they are received. The ambiguity of his remarks allows for sustained engagement, ensuring that the conversation remains active rather than resolved. It is this very ambiguity that keeps audiences attentive, encouraging them to continue exploring the evolving dynamic between him and Chiu. Whether this moment will ultimately be remembered as a genuine turning point or simply another chapter in an ongoing narrative remains uncertain. What is clear, however, is that the connection between Paulo Avelino and Kim Chiu continues to captivate, driven as much by what is left unsaid as by what is expressed. In an industry where clarity is often expected, their story stands out for its complexity, inviting audiences to engage not just with answers, but with possibilities. That's the latest from Celeb Buzz. If you enjoyed the scoop, smash that like button, subscribe for more star-studded updates, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a beat. Share this video with your fellow celeb fans, and we'll see you in the next buzz.